Okay, I wanted to give you some hints for the final exam, and I'm going to go over a few concepts and then provide some hints. One of the main functions that or main areas that we focused on in this course is contribution margin and how to use it for various scenarios or situations, decision-making opportunities for us. All right? So again, let's assume we have this information provided to us. Unit sales are 10,000. We're selling our product at $15 each. Variable costs are 40%, so we can calculate the contribution margin, right? 150,000 less the 60,000. And fixed costs are 15,000, so we can calculate operating income. Now, once we have that, we can also jot in some other numbers that we may need. The selling price per unit is 15. The variable cost per unit you can calculate now by taking the variable cost, 60,000, and dividing it by 10,000. And then subtract, you can get the contribution margin. Subtract the variable cost from the selling cost. And since variable costs are 40% of sales, we know that contribution margin must be 60%, but you could certainly calculate it. Take the $9 per unit divided by 15, or you could take the 90,000 divided by 150. You're going to get the same answer. Now with that, could we make a projection? Let's assume sales went up by 10%. Well, we've seen this in our class. Yep, we can make a projection, increase that by 10%. That would then go up number of units times $15 of sales. The variable cost would go up by 10%. We can calculate contribution margin. Fixed costs remain the same, so we've calculated our new operating income. Now, what if we wanted to calculate break even? Well, we can calculate break even by using one of these formulas. If we wanted to calculate break even in dollars, we take the fixed cost divided by the contribution margin percentage. So I'm doing that there. Fixed cost divided by contribution margin percentage. I get 25,000. Now, if once we have that, we don't even need to jot in the variable cost. We know that 60% of that is going to get us the contribution margin less the fixed cost. It doesn't change, right? And we've calculated break even. Now, if instead you wanted to calculate that by calculating units first, you could certainly do that. What does it say? Take fixed cost dollars and divide it by contribution margin per unit. So let me just delete this and we'll start that. We'll calculate units first. So what do? We take the fixed cost, we know that's 15,000, and we divide it now by the contribution margin per unit, which is $9. So if I do that, I get, this has got to be in units, 1.66. Now it's partial units, but we'll just, I'm going to let it do the calculation so the answer comes out exactly to 0. Now we can multiply that times the selling price, which is $15. We know the contribution margin is 60% of that. I can take the 25,000 times 60%. I don't even need to fill in variable cost. Bring the fixed cost over, and you see that works as well. Now, what if you wanted a target profit? Well, you could do the exact same thing, but all you have to do, look at the formula to the right here, is add in the target profit to the numerator. All right, so we add in the target profit to the numerator. So that's, in this example, what am I using? 100,000, and then everything else is the same. Okay, and I'll delete this, and you could do it with units as well. Add 100,000, and you're using the exact same formula that you used for break even, but you've added the target profit to the numerator. Okay, so I wanted to demonstrate that for you. Okay, next I just want to give you some hints on where to focus on the final exam. We will cover all of the material we covered in the 4-week course. So obviously, have a good understanding of break-even sales. Understand the formula, right? Know how to use it, maybe work some practice problems. know how to calculate target income, right? Work with that as well. The textbook discussed margin of safety. I would read up on that. You can expect a question or two on margin of safety. Okay, we also spend some time understanding how we develop and apply overhead, whether it's job order costing or process costing. So you want to make sure you have a good understanding of over-applied or under-applied overhead, particularly how we dispose of it, right? Most of the time we dispose of it by taking it to cost of goods sold. If it is really large, we could allocate it to work in process finished goods and to cost of goods sold as well. But if it's reasonably small, taking it to cost of goods sold is a very common way to dispose of either over-applied overhead or under-applied overhead. Okay, make sure you understand the differences between absorption costing and variable costing. You can expect a question or two on that. You should have a relatively good understanding of how to calculate cost of goods manufactured, understand how it's different from cost of goods sold, and you should have a good understanding of what goes into cost of goods sold for a manufacturing company. You should be able to know how to prepare both of those statements given information. Okay, and obviously the textbook covers this. There's problems that cover it. And by all means, take advantage of my videos. I have videos, I think, on all of these concepts. You can use my website to get to them, or just go to YouTube, search for Ed Kaplan and my name. And then also, if you don't want to watch my videos and prefer others, by all means do that. Remember that Ed Spira prepares lots of videos, EDSPIRA, and you could type in Ed Spira and then some topic, and you'll find lots of videos as well. Finally, I have a favor to ask, and that is, if you liked my videos throughout this course, I would ask that you mention it on the surveys that come out. And my reason for saying that is I think that's the only way we can get more professors to take the time to develop videos for their courses. I imagine I'm unusual in that I'm one of very few professors that provide videos, other than our recorded chats, but or Zoom sessions. But if you did find the videos helpful, even one or two of them, if you could say so, maybe that'll help get the word out, and then maybe as you go through your program, other professors will have videos for you. Okay, that's it. Good luck on the final exam, and good luck to all of you in your future courses. I hope our paths will cross again.